Hi, me again. Just wanted to cover another one. Tawny actually had a question. She had read a reference in a book that stated you're more likely to be killed by someone that you have intimate knowledge of than by a stranger. And she wanted to know more about that in our Ask a Psychologist segment on why that is. Why is it that someone who's familiar with you would be more likely to off you than someone who doesn't know you at all? And the key thing is the reason serial killers are really interesting and really odd is because they don't seem to have a reason or a rhyme when they're doing things. They're selecting people at random or by how they fit in with an unknown fantasy at that point. So at that point, there's no way to tell who's next, and therefore it carries that big air of mystery. But literally, a majority of the time, when someone's killed, they're killed for a reason. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a reason to kill someone that is provable in a court of law, that's an absence of motive, and that's a chance for you to get off. And that's actually kind of important. The idea is that usually it has, something that starts out probably as a disagreement over something, then it turns to anger, envy, lust, greed, some other personal reason, and that's what broaches that "I'm gonna fucking kill you" point. And yeah, and the thing is it's actually a very troubling but common thing. I read a statistic that and they later had to revise it, but battered women are more likely to be killed by their husbands than by natural death. That's just because there's a dichotomy there where rage is acceptable and that level of anger is acceptable. Um, and that type of behavior does escalate much like drug use. But the thing is it's not just in battered people. It can be just about anything. I'm angry at my wife because she did X, Y, and Z, and I snapped that day. That's just the day I've had too much, and that it doesn't necessarily need to be the dynamite in the situation, but it can just be the fuse. I could have had a really bad day, and I come home, I go for a Pepsi. There's no cold Pepsi there. Oh, fucking bitch, bang, and then it goes too far. Um, in most cases, you also have to look at not just motive, but opportunity. Someone who knows you and has spent a lot of time around you is with you more often. Statistically speaking, that gives them more opportunities to get that mad. Of course, there are a lot of things that play in. It's human nature and such, but it's not that love makes you want to kill. It's just that those are the people you see all the time, and those are the people who are going to see you at your best and at your worst, and therefore they're the ones who are going to have the most reason to either get that mad, that devious, or that angry, and snuff you out. Fortunately, this is something that the police do understand. Unfortunately, it's something that the victims' families don't. Uh, if I'm going to throw out something mildly controversial, maybe, I don't know, but Joan Benet Ramsey is a perfect case of that. Um, the entire world, whether they're guilty or not my business. I'm a psychologist. Um, but bluntly, when the police started treating them like suspects, they got angry and wanted to disassociate from the process. The actual method that the police are using there is they're going through the most probable answers first. The most probable answer is you're this girl's parents, you had access to her, let me find out where you were. Just so I can discount you and say, no, I know, this person didn't do it. In the event that anything happened to a member of my family, I would be in the police station demanding, no, ask me where I was. Let's get this done. Because we need to move on and start tracking down people. That's the way that works. Um, and I know it seems really counterintuitive, but I mean, even the way we talk in the vernacular picks up on it. You always hurt the ones you love. Think of every time you've had to say, I'm sorry, I don't know where that anger came from. And just imagine that going over to the point of someone losing control. It only takes a second to kill someone. It only takes a second to really hit that point and just be full of rage. But at the same time, after studying psychology, the main thing that I found out is it also only takes a second to go, hey, I'm really mad right now. So I think most murders are preventable if people can deal with their feelings better, and or we can identify certain chemical imbalances early enough and get people treatment. But the fact of the matter is, the person who is most likely to kill you or hurt you are the people who are around you every day. I mean, usually if you think of somebody that you want to punch in the mouth, unless it involves road rage, is usually someone you know. So, that being said, Tawny, I really hope that answered your question. And I hope it helped make some sense out of that statistic. But yeah, it's definitely true, and it's something that makes perfect logical sense. And if you have any other questions on that or any other subject, remember we try to answer everything. Um, I always say no questions taboo. I just got done doing a stupid one on the Ask a Scientist, but I won't go into that. Um, but yeah, I'll try to answer any question that I can. And thank you very much for not only writing in but specifying whether or not I could use your name. If anyone has anything that they'd like to send me, if they're on Facebook, just go ahead and shoot me a message. Um, and let me know what your question is and whether or not I can use your name and whether it's for psychologist, scientist, or StarCraft 2 tips. Usually a big distinction. And yeah, if you're on YouTube, just go ahead and send me a private message and do the same thing, and I'll be more than happy to try to engage it. I would ask that if you have any questions, just go ahead and check through our playlist to see if it's already been touched on, because if we can expound on something, that usually saves a lot of time. And once again, I feel the need to point out this was brought to you by exoticenvy.com, where they are now carrying a very special item that I'm supposed to plug. Uh, Basically, they are now carrying Japanese silk rope, which is not only really cool for like, you know, whatever kinky stuff you want to do, but it's also pretty cool for like macrame and everything like that. That being said, they have like 200-foot spools of the stuff for like 36.76 plus shipping, and you get a choice of colors. And they also have a box set for 150, where it's like a cardboard box with the 4 different colors. It's actually kind of nice. I'm thinking about weaving like a huge fisherman's storage cargo net for my office just to get some stuff out of my way. But I digress. Have a great day and try to be good to each other.